Welcome to the first episode of Live Life Courageously. My name is Jessica Angela Nicole Fett. I am a wife, a mother, a nurse practitioner, a woman of faith, a writer, an author, a speaker, and an amateur competitive ballroom dancer. I thank God, my family, and friends, and most importantly, you listeners, for all of your support. There are many podcasts to choose from, and I'm honored that you chose to spend your time with me. I felt called to start this podcast out of a sense of faith, courage, obedience, and purpose. With over 30 years of experience in nursing and medicine and a wide variety of specialties across all age groups, I have had a front row seat to the struggle that people face. Fear, burnout, grief, disappointment, abuse, violence, and outrage. I too have experienced all of these struggles. Choosing courage over comfort can be difficult and increase anxiety. Trusting God, even when it doesn't make sense, especially when it doesn't make sense, can cause more anguish in the short term. But in those times, that is when I have needed to lean in with just a little more faith, and God meets me there. We know God's promises, but to live life courageously, we need to also act like we know them. A child in school acts courageously by extending friendship to another who has been deemed stupid by a larger group of peers. But she is not afraid of the taunting that comes because she knows that is what Jesus would do in that situation. The teenager is acting courageously when she snitches on a guy that she likes because she witnesses him set fire to the school couch, even if just momentarily. He was really cute though, if memory serves. The adult acts courageously when she faces a church review board all alone, simply because she moved from one side of the stage to another during her performance of Jesus Calling during the service. Legalism never serves God. These are a few of my experiences, and you probably have had similar ones. Life can be messy, and people can be messier. My goal is to inspire other Christian women to live boldly, faithfully, and courageously in every role: mother, wife, professional, daughter, and as women of faith. For the men that may listen, my prayer is that you may also be inspired to live life courageously by being the man, husband, father, and professional that God has called you to be. I have been married for 28 years and have 2 adult sons. This podcast is focused on women, but living in a house full of testosterone, I know men face struggles as well. Both genders wrestle with life situations. Our reactions just tend to be a little bit different. This podcast was born out of obedience, not convenience. Life has ebbs and flows. We all experience more than one grief, loss, transition. Some of us experience multiple traumas, health issues, and unexpected moves. Burnout is frequent. You may have had one defining season in your life, or you may have had 10. Just when life appears to be getting back to normal, whatever that is, the bottom may fall out. I have endured so many different seasons of brokenness that it was hard to figure out which ones to include in my book. The first one, though, definitely broke me, literally, and God built me back up. At the age of 5, I almost died. Well, I did for a minute or two. This is how my book starts. From that initial event, God revealed his mercy and strength to me in ways I would have never known otherwise. I find that if we are paying attention, we can see God's grace even in the midst of chaos and confusion, trauma and grief. We may not want to pay attention. This is human nature after all. Yet having faith and using your God-given courage can push all the nonsense aside and give you wisdom, peace, and the strength to endure. In Romans chapter 5, we are told that affliction produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope. It took me 1.5 years to write my book, and the spiritual battle raged in my soul. Reliving some painful moments showed me just how angry I still was at God, and that was earth-shattering. Many hours spent in prayer, tears flowing down my face, while the notion that I was angry with God struck my heart. I didn't want to think I could be angry at the Almighty, but I was. Confessing things I didn't know I was holding on to, I found a new peace bended knees and open hands, admitting my sins, not making excuses. My eyes opened up to the reality God wanted me to see. Live Life Courageously, Thriving in the Midst of Trauma and Grief is now available. It is also available on Kindle and Audible, narrated by me. At the end of 2023, I created an interactive journal called Nitty Gritty Healthy 7-Week Challenge for my clients who were on a journey to be healthier in the mind, body, and spirit. The night I pushed publish for Amazon, I clearly heard God say, "But you didn't tell them your story. Now is the time." To which I replied, "Really?" To which he responded, "Yes." You see, God knows how much I respect efficient speaking, and he didn't offer any platitudes, just a simple yes. So I started to write the book, but I still tried to do it my way. The initial manuscript was a hodgepodge pile of information and vague stories that read like the attention span of a squirrel. Luckily, my uncle and a couple other editors gently guided me and called me out. God surrounded me with wonderful people to get me back on track. I have a passion to serve others who have gone through similar struggles. I don't have all the answers and I can't make any promises, but I know that God does. And the lack of godly father role models in America is startling, and it gives God a bad rap. When one has a terrible father, how does one approach an unknown heavenly father? I am blessed to have had a God-fearing father here on earth, but I know many, many people who have no such blessing. Grief is also rampant and difficult. Churchy associates spread empty platitudes that do more harm than good. I have observed that the increase in anti-Christian rhetoric has caused a decrease in the capability for people to grieve and be comforted. If we are led to believe that all religions are true, nothing really matters, just as long as you believe in something, then no religion can be true. And where does that leave us with grief? I have seen women, including myself, live dutiful lives, but have no room to care for themselves. Self-care is not selfish, and it is also impossible to think that you will be able to think logically when we are grieving, overwhelmed, afraid, or just plain stuck. Even making the logical choice to change our clothes and brush our teeth can seem out of reach. Live Life Courageously is about courage, faith, obedience, tenacity, identity, purpose, and healing. My prayer is that you find encouragement, clarity, spiritual growth, and inspiration to live boldly for Christ. This podcast is a conversation. The book is a deeper journey. In these weekly podcasts, you will find me discussing fear, obedience, motherhood, marriage, calling, healing, purpose, and boundaries, as well as Christian values, either by myself or with other courageous women. If you have a topic idea, or if you would like to be a guest, please email me. My contact information is in the show notes. Remember, no woman is an island. You are not alone. God is not finished with you yet. Courage is a decision, not a personality trait. Please subscribe to this podcast and share it with a friend. I would love to hear what you think. Feel free to drop a review. My website is also in the show notes, as well as my social handles. Until next time, live life courageously. Thank you.